Why does someone else's success feel like your own failure? It is a hidden virus that infects every social circle: envy. We are taught to hide it, but burying it only allows it to fester into covert hostility, backhanded comments, and self-sabotage. You are losing valuable energy monitoring your peers instead of building your own empire. In this masterclass, we are killing the zero-sum myth. You will learn to decode the sting of comparison, dismantle the trap of covert hostility, and finally master the art of transmuting envy into rocket fuel for your own growth. This is the ultimate defense against the most destructive emotion in human nature. If you are ready to stop reacting to the world and start dominating your own path with absolute, unshakable immunity, then it is time to begin. Let's dissect the virus and reclaim your focus. Envy is the most silent and destructive emotion in the human social landscape. Unlike anger or frustration, which are often expressed openly, envy is almost always kept hidden behind a mask of politeness. We are conditioned to believe that envy is a shameful emotion, so we bury it deep, which only allows it to fester like a poison. It changes how you perceive others, how you process your own success, and most dangerously, how you interact with your peers. To master the social environment, you must learn to recognize this emotion in others and, more importantly, identify it within yourself. The reality of human nature is that we are constantly comparing ourselves to those around us. It is a primitive instinct born from the need to understand our standing in the group. However, in our modern world, this tendency for comparison has gone into overdrive. When you see someone you know achieve a goal you have been struggling with, your brain rarely responds with pure, unadulterated joy. Instead, it triggers a subtle sting of dissatisfaction. You start to find flaws in their success, you question their methods, or you distance yourself from them. This is the first stage of envy. If you don't catch this early, it can lead to toxic behavior. You might find yourself subtly undermining those you envy, or perhaps you become paralyzed by the belief that their gain is your loss. This mindset is the ultimate form of self-sabotage. It blinds you to the opportunities that exist in your own life and turns potential allies into imagined enemies. Envy forces you to look outward at what others have, while your true power always lies in what you can build for yourself. To master this, you must shift your perspective. Stop viewing other people's achievements as a measure of your failure, and start viewing them as evidence of what is possible. Recognition is the antidote to the poison. Once you recognize that envy is an ever-present, low-level virus, you must understand how it functions through the mechanism of comparison. We do not envy people who are vastly different from us. We envy those who are similar. We compare ourselves to those in our immediate social circle, our colleagues, or our peers. When someone in your weight class succeeds, the proximity of that success makes it personal. It challenges your sense of worth and forces you to confront the gap between where you are and where you desire to be. The danger lies in how this comparison distorts your perception of reality. When envy takes root, you stop seeing your peers as individuals and start seeing them as benchmarks for your own perceived inadequacy. You lose the ability to appreciate their talents because you are too focused on the threat they pose to your status. This is not merely a social inconvenience, it is a strategic error. By focusing on what someone else has achieved, you drain the mental bandwidth you should be using to innovate, refine your skills, and execute your own projects. Furthermore, this internal friction often leads to the fallacy of the zero-sum game. You begin to subconsciously believe that for someone else to win, you must lose. This is a false narrative. In reality, the success of others provides a roadmap, not a roadblock. It serves as proof of possibility. When you catch yourself experiencing that familiar sting of dissatisfaction, you are at a crossroads. You can either allow that emotion to narrow your focus into a spiral of resentment, or you can use it as a diagnostic tool. Ask yourself, what specifically about their success bothers me? Is it their platform, their financial gain, their public recognition? Usually, the answer reveals a specific goal you have been neglecting or a fear you have been unwilling to face. By deconstructing the object of your envy, you strip the emotion of its power. You transform a reactive, destructive impulse into an active, strategic plan. You stop being a spectator of their life and become the architect of your own. As envy transitions from an internal sting to a behavioral pattern, it often manifests as covert hostility. Since society deems envy a social taboo, the feeling is rarely expressed as direct competition. Instead, it leaks out through backhanded compliments, subtle sabotage, or the deliberate withholding of support. When you observe this in others, it is a clear signal that you have triggered their insecurities. Conversely, when you find yourself engaging in these behaviors, it is an urgent indicator that your professional discipline is slipping. Covert hostility is a high-cost endeavor. It requires you to invest energy into monitoring, belittling, or undermining someone else's progress, rather than investing that energy into your own domain. This is a losing strategy because it keeps you tethered to the other person. You become reactive to their milestones rather than proactive in your own development. The moment you begin to prioritize someone else's downfall over your own ascent, you have ceded your power. You are effectively making their life the center of your focus, which is the ultimate surrender of control. To master this, you must adopt a filter of detachment. When you feel the urge to criticize, dismiss, or subtly undermine a peer's success, stop and analyze the impulse. Is this criticism rooted in objective, factual observation, or is it a defensive reaction to your own feelings of inadequacy? By naming the hostility for what it is, a byproduct of your own unaddressed goals, you can neutralize it. True mastery lies in the ability to acknowledge another person's success, analyze the components of that success, and then pivot back to your own strategic objectives. Do not let the virus of hostility distract you from the work that actually defines your trajectory. You have identified the virus of comparison and recognized the decay of covert hostility. Now, you must learn the most critical skill in social mastery, the transmutation of envy. This is the process of converting a destructive, reactive impulse into a productive, active engine for your own growth. Instead of letting envy paralyze you or lead you toward petty sabotage, use it as a diagnostic tool. Your envy is actually a high-fidelity map of your deepest, most unfulfilled desires. It points exactly to the territory you want to occupy but have not yet conquered. When you feel that familiar sting of dissatisfaction looking at a peer's achievement, stop immediately. Do not suppress it and do not act on it. Instead, deconstruct it. Ask yourself, what specific skill, position, or recognition do they have that I am currently lacking? Once you isolate the target, stop viewing the person as a rival and start viewing them as a data point. What are they doing that you are not? What methods, habits, or strategies have they implemented that you have ignored? By shifting your mindset, you reclaim your agency. You are no longer a victim of your emotions, you are a student of success. This shift is profound. It turns the exhausting energy of resentment into the clean, sustainable energy of ambition. You are no longer chasing someone else's shadow. You are using the light they emit to see your own path more clearly. This is how you master your environment and maintain your focus. We have traveled from the initial sting of comparison to the strategic transmutation of envy into fuel. Now we reach the final stage, achieving absolute immunity. This is not about becoming emotionless, it is about becoming unshakable. The envious person is constantly reacting to the world, their mood and energy fluctuating based on the successes of others. You, however, will operate from a position of internal stability. Immunity is built by fully committing to your own unique trajectory. When you are profoundly clear on your mission, the successes of others become irrelevant to your self-worth. You no longer need to compare because you are competing against your own potential, not an external benchmark. This level of focus is rare and powerful. It frees you from the cycle of resentment and allows you to build with relentless, quiet intensity. You must reach a point where you celebrate the success of others, not out of forced kindness, but because you possess the supreme confidence that their wins do not diminish your own. Your vision is too vast to be derailed by someone else's progress. By mastering this law, you stop being a passenger in the social game and become a master of your own destiny. You have successfully neutralized the virus, turned your weaknesses into weapons, and hardened your mind against the corrosive effects of envy. You are now prepared to navigate any environment with poise, clarity, and absolute unwavering strength. The path ahead is clear. Go and execute.